Oops, my microphone's down by my face. Hello, everyone. Welcome back to the Monroe, Neely, and Golf. I'm Boeing Fan 727 here with you. Happy Tuesday, September 25th. Man, where did the month go? Sorry, just planning something with my girlfriend for tomorrow. I can only stream till 4 o'clock today, guys. I have to go to Sprint here in a little while. Get on a new phone plan, as well as dig up a call log to help out with something at work to just kind of, not necessarily clear my name, but help fix some problems that I've had with points, because we get points at work, and apparently they screwed up from a long time ago. So I gotta go just clear some things up, showing I called in sick for a day, and then it doesn't count as a point. Alrighty. So a lot of progress has been made since the last live stream. If you guys follow me on my Facebook page, you get exclusive looks into progress that I'm making outside of the stream. But for those of you who don't, we're going to jump right in and go ahead and view all this progress. I've completed, I guess, the line terminus, or at least the connection to the line terminus, where we connect with Kansas City Southern, BNSF, and CSX on the opposite side of the Cahokia. So if Trainz would like to load, we can jump in and go do that. Don't tell me it already froze. Oh, there we go. I'm going to have this annoying window up here, though. Hold on, we're going to go ahead and exit real quick, because I don't want that annoying window. Hey, Trainz Player 14, how you doing? Trainz is being stupid today. Alright, let's try this again. Alrighty. So we're back here in this town that I've created. This is the line terminus with the Amtrak yard. This is Patton, Mississippi. Another fictional town I've created. But this is the end to the Monroe, Neely, and Golf, as well as the ending station terminus for the Amtrak River Queen line. And Dylan, why don't you text me that if you want, if you've done the impossible. Let me see here. So yeah, I've created the station. It's kind of just a couple of assets thrown together to look like a station. I've yet to kind of detail it. I got to put lights and chairs and clocks and oh, happy birthday, Trainz Player. Happy birthday. I'd sing, but you don't want that to happen. I use this Amtrak station here, kind of, just to be here. Actually, I have an airport video, Mr. Rob, possibly my last 737-300 pulling into the gate. Southwest 737-300s are retired as of next month. I think at the beginning of the month, they are retiring all 737-300s, which means no major airline is operating a classic Series 737. Actually, I take that back. Alaska is still operating the 400, but widespread use, yeah. So I gotta upload that, and there might be one other video, maybe. I don't think so, but oh, actually, I forgot to upload my videos from when I traveled to Kansas City. But yeah, so this is the station right here. I kind of put this wall right here on the side of the platform because obviously there's a road here, and you don't want people just popping off on the platform onto the road because that would kind of suck. So I did that. Runway 25 departure at RNO. It's like departing like runway 6 or landing runway 6 in STL or the equivalent. But I use these, I guess it's called FMA. I'm assuming it's like a French asset. But I use like this viaduct here. And I like the way it looks. It really kind of gives this old feel to the town that this railroad's been here for a while. Especially when I put these arches in and whatnot. And I like how I can go about making these roads kind of wonky and whatnot. And you're welcome, Rob. Yeah, like I said, I looked at my gate lead report last night, or my not my gate lead report, my daily gate schedule, and it tells me what series aircraft I have coming in. And I had 4 flights last night, 3 700s and 1 lone 300, which I have not got a 300 in a while. And I know the month is ending, so this is possibly the last 300 that I will work ever, which is sad because the first plane that I think the first plane I ever worked, or the first Southwest plane I got to touch, when they brought us out in the ramp to just show us what we'd be dealing with and whatnot. It was a 300, and the first plane I pushed solo was Triple Crown 1 before they painted it over to the 700. So my first solo push, was on a 300. So 300 holds a very special place in my heart. I love old aircraft anyways, so I just going into the job, I liked the 300, but it's, sad that it's going, and the Max is coming, and I'm not happy about the Max. Max is actually about a foot taller than our next-gen aircraft, so not particularly happy about that, but progress is progress. But anyways, about the town here. This is kind of the downtown core. Kind of really medium, low-rise buildings. Kind of just right here in the area right around the train station. I have a DMV. This is a Douglas County Courthouse model, but I use it as a DMV. A couple vehicles out here. I'll show you guys the yard real quick. The yard's just kind of very small. Just enough for an engine maintenance facility, car maintenance facility, refueling point, engine storage track, and then if we come down here, this is where the cars will be stored on these tracks. Those probably could be a little longer, but there is going to be another yard down at the other end for Amtrak. Because they're line terminuses, and I guess you need some sort of support facility at the line terminus for Amtrak so they can refuel their engines along the way as they go. But yeah, so this is the yard. Got a couple of small fuel tanks for here, kind of the downtown core. I got to fence it all off. It's right here in downtown. My apologies for the sniffing. And then, of course, we got the river here, which I'm actually working the river, guys. It actually came out pretty well. The river looks kind of cool. We'll kind of just jaunt down the river real quick. It's very wide, very Mississippi-like. I did a lot of thought into this river. You got these little islands out in the middle, and then these cut-off sections of the old river that kind of serve as like little lakes now. Yeah, I put a lot of, I wouldn't say a lot of work, but I put a decent amount of work. I like a little horseshoe lake right on the side of the river. And all these islands that come along down. And just kind of twists and curves and, just a big old river. Just wide. It is very wide. Kind of weird that the train takes a little bit to load in, but is what it is, I suppose. Then the river comes back down here to this town, which I named. I named this town Goshen. Goshen, after Goshen, Indiana. Just kind of was looking for a name of a Midwestern town, and I just picked Goshen. So, anyways, so this is an overview of the line. I put Riverton in here. So we got Riverton. I was working on that last time. We ended right here in Riverton. The line comes up and makes a sharp, or a kind of a slow right, and then a slow hook back to the left. We cross this lake right here, which isn't bad. So we got this lake right here. Comes across this lake. This is a 55 mile per hour zone, so we're running at 55. Make a slow right on the main line, kind of jog to the left, and there's our couple of switches for the yard and for the station. And then it comes up the viaduct here. My theory was it was maybe a double bridge at one point, but maybe they just, to save money and maintenance costs, they demolished one of the bridges and just made it single track through here. So we got this big long bridge. I wish my nose would stop running. And then we kind of really loop around to this Y right here, which goes under the bridge, which will be hookup points for CSX, BNSF, and KCS. Of course, their respective lines all kind of meet right here, but north and south, they branch off in their own respective directions. I haven't determined who's gonna go which way. I haven't really figured that out, but I do know that we're gonna have a little small community over here on the other side of Patton, and I am gonna extend these train lines off and kind of drag them out into distance. So at least you have a little operating distance for these operators. Let me see. Oh yeah, I got this big road bridge up here. Really nice, really, really nice. Love this arch design. Comes down over here. Got a small little fuel farm kind of thing. Comes over here to this port along the river. Could say like some oil barges or whatever. And then I put like this levee asset because this is a big river, and I noticed one thing that I haven't done is put levees in, which is very common along these large rivers to have levees. I'm kind of giving it a wide floodplain, because if there's one thing I've noticed, these levees, sometimes they're up against the river, sometimes they're a little far back. So I'm going to have it kind of go straight here, come kind of close to the river again, and then yeah, it's going to kind of stay alongside the river for a little ways down. You know, you got all this important stuff over here, the yard, the town. The fuel farm isn't protected, which I don't know if it's 100% accurate, but it is what it is. I guess it was cheap land when they bought it, so, you know, no one's saying they can't build there. And this would kind of be a area where we'd put floodgates and whatnot during that time when needed. And plus, the town kind of sits up on a hill anyway, so the town is somewhat protected. But we will have another part of the levee come off over here and go under the bridge. Ah, awesome. I'll have to check those out sometime. I do like Guilford. It's my home operator. But yeah, so I got to put a levee over here and go from there. So, but yeah, so this is the town of Patton. Very, very happy with it, and I'm very happy how it came out. And, just screams small town. Just screams small town America. I like it. Um, So let's see. I haven't done a whole lot else than work over here. Did add a couple of buildings to Monroe since last time, which Monroe is over here. Almost forgetting where it is now. Let's see. Okay, so I changed the skyline. Changed the skyline around a little bit. I added the Smith Tower from Seattle because I kind of wanted a very big and prominent building, and it fits the height. It's not too much taller than the buildings we have now, but it sticks out. It's a very prominent building in the skyline. So I added the Smith Tower from Seattle, as well as the Starbucks Center, because it's just kind of this big, long building that just fills in some space, and it sits off in the background. Kind of wish I could have got it in more of the foreground of the city, but I think the closer you get to the yard over here, you know, some of the more historical, important buildings for the town, at least. I mean, I could have probably stuck it in over here, but we have roads and stuff, and I think I'd like it off in the background like that. So that's all I did over here, and I haven't done much of anything else anywhere else. Yeah, everything else is pretty much the same. So yeah, really the only work I did was extending the river out and getting the line pretty much wrapped up on this end of the track. It's Unreal. Hello. Welcome back to the stream, sir. So yeah, today I think we're going to probably get this transfer point between CSX, BNSF, and KCS made up, and figure out whose track is who, and potentially work on that small community over there on the other side of the bridge. And I think my girlfriend Snapchatted me. I better check that. Alrighty. Sorry, also Approach Medium Snapchatted me. Alrighty, so let's get into this. Oh, and I can hear myself talking on my chat. That's weird. Alrighty, so we should take a look here. And so this is, like I said, the big loop that comes off the bridge. Because the original plan was, when I talked to Sean, is he wanted to have a Y on the bridge to meet for the tracks, and I kind of figured, or I'd kind of planned to drag the tracks off and get this nice smooth grade that would come out, you know, and have KCS and BNSF go this way and CSX kind of use the Y. But I didn't like the way it looked. It looked very awkward. It was too long in my mind. I mean, maybe maybe it wasn't too wrong, but long. My God, I can't talk. Too long. But it just didn't have any character to it. It just really didn't look anything unique or special or really worth noting. And I wanted to make something kind of special for the area. And I think here would be a nice little area to say, you know, oh, they were conserving, or they were limited on the space they could do for the bridge. So they kind of had to make this like loop or curve, this kind of bend right here, this 180, come back the other direction to link up with these other lines that the Class 1 operators use. But yeah, so just kind of struggling to figure out where I want who to go and how I want to do it. What I'm thinking here is having dragging the track up under the bridge, having the road go off and do its own thing after this, because this would be like the little main drag for this little town. I mean, that's a good idea, I guess. Whatever works for your channel, Chris. But yeah, so I'm thinking of dragging the track over here, then having some trackage for maybe parked trains for whoever operates over here, and then the same deal over here, having a few tracks over here for trains that are parking for incoming and outgoing KCS or BNSF or CSX engines, and then over here just have one big area for the operators, then have them go their own respective way. I just want my allergies to be gone. This is ridiculous. So that's just kind of my thoughts. Oh, and I did make a few purchases, by the way, guys. I forgot to mention those, and of course, these don't want to load, which means I have to go through a database rebuild. Same thing over here. Are you freaking... Okay, I say, are you freaking kidding me? These aren't going to load, are they? I would make a place like Vonnie and Eureka, Chris, but that is approach medium, and I kind of want to be unique to my own thing, and I need to exit out and do a database rebuild because Trainz is really starting to get on my nerves lately. Well, I understand don't build exactly, but I don't want to. I want to style it the way that I style it. The stylings of those two communities are very Pennsylvania like. This is Mississippi, so I'm modeling it after towns I see out here that run along the Mississippi River and kind of represent very generic areas in the United States. Because I mean, no offense to the Midwest, but that is just kind of the Midwest. It's a very generic. It has its own character, but it's not the Midwest, or it's not the East Coast, and it's not the West Coast. You know, the Midwest is just kind of its own little unique place, and it's just kind of very generic America when you think about it. Alrighty, jump back in. So I want to show you guys the new purchases I made from Jointed Rail. I got two things that I wanted, and yeah, you know, I'm pretty happy with them. Remember, Chris, it's not really a yard. It's a point. It's a transfer point. So it's just going to be an area of maybe 7 or so tracks where we pretty much just come in and either trade out power, you know, or pretty much just trade out power for the consists. But let me go here. So I got from Jointed Rail the vegetation control train. So I kind of figured I want some MOW, some maintenance of way trains to kind of come along the track. So I got this railroad vegetation service train, which I love. It's cool. It's cool to operate with because these there's arms on this car that come out, and the sprayer animation works, which is pretty cool. I don't think NS will run. I don't really have a use for them. I already have BNSF, KCS, and CSX running, and potentially Union Pacific. I don't know if I'm going to have Union Pacific or not. So I got this vegetation control train. Let me see. And then I got the Juice Train from Join Rail, only because it was a good deal on some of their CSX content. Because I got the CSX, I think it was the C4. No, it was the. I got the ES44AH, which I'm kind of bummed there's no custom cab for. And where is the other engine I got? I wanted to get the GP38, but I didn't get a chance, which I'm actually very bummed out about because I really wanted the GP38. But it is what it is. Ah, crap, where's that engine? Oh, yeah, it's this one. And I picked up the C40 with the Juice Train pack. Oh, not you. Just him. So yeah, I picked him up, which I'm pretty happy about. Probably not. I mean, I'm definitely sticking with the operators I have now. I don't know if we're going to run NS. And then we come down to here. I got the inspection train from Jointed Rail. So we got this GP7 with these kind of inspection cars running around. Which I'm pretty happy with, and it came with the a little shed for these cars and whatnot. But I'm pretty happy with the purchases. Like I said, it just gives some more kind of maintenance stuff for the line, and of course the CSX pack I couldn't pass up. $15 for pretty great detailed cars. Because I guess in this region, I don't necessarily. I mean, I know this is more of a Florida thing, but I do want to say that we do get a Juice Train that comes up from running from Florida with CSX, and then could trade out Motive Power and do whatever we need to do. But there is a Juice Train that runs on the line, so I did want to add that. But $15 for the Tropicana car, the ES44AH, and the C40 was it the C40-8? Or was it the C40? Yep, C40-8. Which is weird that, this same thing, C40-8, but they look so different. Look so different. But yeah, so I'm pretty happy. Like I said, I really wanted to get the CSX GP38-2 that Jointed Rail has, but I thought about it and I hemmed and hawed, and I think I got the best packs for my money. Comes with very unique cars, and the GP38 was like $14 for just the engine, versus I think I paid $14 for the vegetation train, $25 for the inspection train. And, it came with a building, too, which I used over in the Amtrak yard, and I can use elsewhere for other purposes. And 15 for the Juice Train. And I got two engines and a nice, very detailed car out of it. So I think I got the best for my money. And, it's Jointed Rail. No matter, even if I got the CSX GP38, it still would have been, a good purchase. But, I'm not going to be buying all the time. Next week I'm definitely not buying, and my last paycheck is what I'm generally using to spend my fun purchases on. I'm definitely not going to be buying because I can't be spending every week, so just not feasible. But alrighty, so time to add some trackage in here. Oh, I thought you were saying, okay, 10 favorite heritage units. I really don't have any. I'm not really a big NS person. I live out here in Illinois, and Illinois terminals in my area, so I'd have to probably say Illinois terminals at the top, but I really don't have any favorite heritage units from NS that I like. You know, I'm not really a big NS person. Yeah, I know that. I know there's 20. I know there's a lot, but I'm not a big heritage person. I don't. You know, at the end of the day, I love trains. Trains are cool, but I am an airplane guy at the end of the day, and my heritage units more or less are Piedmont, Pacific Southwest, Reno Air, Air Cal, TWA, um, America West, Continental Retro, United Retro, American Astrojet, um, Southwest Classic livery. You know, those are my retro or my heritage units more or less. You know, like I said, I love being around this community of trains, but at the end of the day, I am still a train or a plane guy. You know, it is my channel name and whatnot, and you know, it's also my industry. Planes are my industry. You know, it's not that I don't like trains at all. It's just at the end of the day, I pay more attention to planes than I do trains. It's just this is something I love doing. Trying to get the trackage right. I'm not good at making yards. Very, very tedious work, and it's hard to get these track layouts to look half decent. More than likely, Chris. I probably will subscribe to you. Gonna focus on the stream here first, though. Where is everyone else today? No, I saw you guys earlier in the chat. Alrighty. See, I have no clue who's going to use this track. I have no clue. I know I will have a few engines from the MNG over here, just ready for transfer or dragging transfers over. Because technically the bridge is owned by the MNG. But these tracks right here are not ours. All this trackage down here is all the Class 1s. And I probably should put a levee over here too. Should get that acid in so the yard can't curve out too much on this side, but will on the other. Awesome. Alrighty, cool. Let me see real quick what I got for BNSF. BNSF units. I got this -9. I got a B40. Got a GP38, which is in the older colors. I don't know if we're going to use the GP38 out here. We might. I got a BNSF H1-9. Got an SD40. Probably use that SD40. Definitely use that SD40. I think I got an SD60 Heritage. And an SD75. Which, according to my bud that works for BNSF, he didn't even know they had SD75s. If they even do. So I got some pretty decent, I got quite a few BNSF engines, which I didn't even know I had. All these ones. And of course I got I think some ATSF and BNSF engines still lying around, or BN engines. And I got some ATSF up here, like the B40, which I'm sure I could probably use. Yeah, and then I got the STS B40 with the BNSF patch, which should definitely use out here. That'd be cool. So yeah, I got these, and then for KCS, I think I only have just a few. I got an SD60, and I got the ES44HAC. ES44AC, not H. Where did I get the H? It's not bad. And these two will be using the same tracks. And for CSX, I got quite an array of engines for them. I got the AC6000. I love using that. I got the C30s, which I'm not using the C30s, but I got them. We got them. The C40-8, which I already showed you guys. I got the 8 and the 8W. Again, Chris, I'm showing you what I have right now. ES44AH, which they're running into each other, but that's alright. So a lot of large power. And then, of course, I got the freeware jointed rail stuff. I got the GP38, YN2, YN3, the GP40, which I'll be using all of that. GP40. And all their colors and whatnot. And I got the SD60. I have these SD70 ACEs, but they're pretty bland models, so I'm not going to be using them. If it ain't jointed rail, I'm not using it. And I got the this stuff from NARM, the -9s, but very, very vibrant blue. And then, of course, I got the MP15AC And I think that's it for CSX motive power. So yeah, of course, I got a very wide array of power between everyone else. I think primarily along the line you'll see the AC 6000, ES44AH, and whatnot. But of course you'll see a good mixture of everything else. But I should get more track work done. I should stop looking at what I have for motive power. What I'm thinking here is probably BNSF's going to go up this one, and CSX will come down to this track. So this will be the BNSF line right here. Unless you guys think otherwise. Unless you guys think otherwise. No, I don't want that. Now remember, guys, like I said, this is just the a yard or transfer point for KCS and BNSF only for southbound or northbound trains. So trains coming up from the south will stop here. There, the BNSF, CSX, KCS lines don't merge until right here. The bigger yard for southbound trains coming from the north will be right here, where all the lines will stop right here on this side. I'm just giving them their own respective points on the south so they don't have to pass the transfer point to come back. It just makes more sense in my head anyways. Or maybe it doesn't. I don't know. What should we do, guys? Should I stick with the idea that I'm going right now, or should I just make the big yard for everyone? Because if they're passing the Y, then they're obviously dropping off the consist. I mean, most trains are going to be stopping at the yard anyways, so maybe this just should be staging tracks right here for trains that are coming into the yard, just to give a few passing tracks versus a yard itself, because it's all a single track through here. And I'm assuming this is area going to be a high movement area. So, you know, if there's a train coming this way, we don't want to have a single track coming all the way down, you know, and obviously have to wait for this train to move. So I think I just talked myself into it. So I think what we're going to do is what I just said. Have this just be a passing area for waiting trains. So we'll take this track out. Stomach's unhappy today. But this will still be the BNSF line with all their freight and whatnot, along with KCS. But it's not going to be a yard. It's just going to be a passing point, more or less. Where's the bridge? Did I go under the bridge? I did go under the bridge. Oh, crap. I didn't realize I went under the bridge. Can I curve it off to this way? Because this portion of the track's going to be riding right alongside the levee. And the levee's going to kind of start claiming some land here in a minute, once I get that in. But I did want to talk to you guys about something that I've been kind of following lately. Something from my childhood that is gone now. But who here played Club Penguin growing up? just kind of curious to see who played. Anybody else? I don't really think there's anyone else here. 3 watching. Actually, Club Penguin still exists. Obviously, there was that whole big debacle with Disney. They wanted to shut it down because Disney is all about the money. They don't give a crap about us, in a sense. Disney is all about making as much money as they possibly can. Which blows because I was on Club Penguin from probably a few weeks after the get-go, after they first started. November of 2005. They started in October of 2005. So I was on Club Penguin for a long, long time, or at least had a penguin. I can't. Yes, no, Chris. The original is dead. If you let me finish here. But yeah, so I was on Club Penguin for a long, long time, which is what it is. I passed it down to my brother, who played on my Penguin for a while. But eventually Disney definitely killed Club Penguin. I think they took over. They took over in 2007, 2 years after the original. Or I can't remember where I was going with that sentence, but they took over 2 years after its initiation. Well, obviously, Disney, like I said, beat Club Penguin into the ground. Made their little marketing cash cow, whatever. But I mean, they had a good run, definitely over a decade. 12 years, 12 years of Club Penguin, which is very good for a game like that. Very good run. But yeah, so this March, Disney axed it and opted for a mobile version called Club Penguin Island, which I didn't know they did. Like I said, I remember back in February or somewhere around that ballpark, a friend of mine had messaged me saying, "Oh yeah, Club Penguin, it's closing." I'm like, "Oh my God, no way!" And I was like, "Wow, that was a big part of my childhood." I'd come home after school, and my parents divorced when I was younger. When I was about 8 years old, I'd say my brother was just born. My parents, it was a very bitter divorce. It was a very, very harsh divorce. A lot of stress was placed on just an 8-year-old, and it was hard, and my sister, she didn't want much to do with me. My mom was working 2 jobs to support my family. My dad wasn't really ever around, and I really didn't have any friends, and my mom was very, sheltering, I'd say, in a little bit, in a sense. I didn't have a whole lot of friends, so my kind of escape from reality was Club Penguin. It was this awesome, fun world for me to escape to and go and play and just be a kid and have fun and imagine. It was just this huge role play community in a sense because a lot of it, yeah, there was games and you could do stuff and you had purpose and whatnot, but a major part of it was also role playing. If you think about it. So I thought to myself, I'm like, wow, this big thing from my childhood is dead. Disney completely killed this thing from my childhood. So I was kind of disappointed. So recently, I was on YouTube a couple nights ago. And, what happened to Club Penguin or something of the equivalent in name had come up in my feed, in my recommended videos. So I'm like, yeah, well, I wonder whatever did happen to Club Penguin in its final hours. So I looked, and I thought it was pretty cool that people finally were able to flip the iceberg, and definitely I think the team in charge of Club Penguin did a great job going out. But recently, I had learned that like I said, there was the mobile version of Club Penguin, and yeah, no, it was the mobile app they created it's strictly mobile, and that's just not Club Penguin. Club Penguin's not on a little mobile app. Club Penguin is this desktop-based virtual reality. But I get, I mean, I don't get. I guess I kind of understand that people are on the go more often, so kids have tablets more than they have desktops, and it's just easier. So yeah, I guess a mobile platform appeals better to the young, to younger generations, I suppose. But it's just not Club Penguin. Anyways, so there was Club Penguin Island, which is basically a ripoff of Toontown. I mean, if you're gonna talk about it, Club Penguin Island is Toontown. There's no ifs, ands, or buts. That's all Club Penguin Island is Toontown. Which I didn't get big into Toontown. I played it. It was fun, but it just wasn't for me. Toontown definitely wasn't for me. But but yeah, so then I discovered that there's a group of fans of Club Penguin that have the original. The original is still up and running. Um, but yet you have to create a new penguin and whatnot. But the greatest thing ever is there's no membership, and you can still get all the items. You don't have to pay to buy furniture for your house, or well, you don't have to pay real money to be able to buy furniture for your house. You can just earn coins and buy every article of clothing. You can buy all the furniture, all the puffles. There are still features that are missing, um, because this is Club Penguin circa 2010. That is going. It's called Club Penguin Rewritten, which I was pretty excited. I was like, wow, there's still a huge community for it, and people, the community saved it and preserved it. So this is gonna sound really stupid, but I wanted to check it out, so I created a penguin. Actually, the original name that I used back in 2005 on the penguin that I had, and it was available. So I created my penguin and I started playing around, and it was cool to relive the nostalgia, because it's Club Penguin circa 2010 when I was playing. This was probably, let's see, 2010. I probably would have been in, God, see, '05. I was 8. So 5 years later, I'm in 13. 13, I would have been in. Oh God, what was I in? I think I would have been a. Was I? No, I wasn't. Was I 8th grade? I can't remember what grade I would have been entering if I was. I know. I think 2010 was probably amongst the last years that I fully played. Full time. So it was just cool to go there and just to see what I remember, because anything after that, it was kind of fuzzy to me, because I had they had the yearbooks in the coffee shop upstairs for things that happened in Club Penguin, and I was looking through the yearbooks and I remembered everything. All the parties and all the events, and there was that earthquake, and I forget what year it was, but we had that little Club Penguin earthquake, and there was a crack in the window in the pool area down below, and the island kind of flooded. We had that big water party, and I remember that stuff. I was like, oh my God, I remember that. It was cool, because it was just like, I remember all those things from, that I did when I was younger, and I look forward to them, and they were fun, and it was cool, and, I remember all the collectible items that I had, and I'm like, oh my God, that'd be, I wish I had those. I wish I still had them, because I was like, oh, that'd be so cool if I could, just go back and see everything that I had collected and worked towards. But obviously, like most things, after a year of inactivity, Disney deleted your account, so my penguin just ceased to exist after some time, which I guess was kind of sad, because I probably would have had one of the oldest penguins in existence. But it is what it is. So, but I just thought it was cool to go back last night and just kind of relive my childhood in a sense, because if there's anything that you will hear adults do, it's man, I remember that when I was a kid, or da-da-da-da. I mean, I sound like an adult right now, but it's just like it's the truth. It is the 100% the truth. I remember, I just remember all that stuff, and it was just so cool to go back and just be able to see things and do things and remember, like, oh yeah, like that's how I used to do this, and I remember this game, and all the stuff that goes with it. It was just fun, but I just think it's very awesome that the community wants to preserve and save something that we all loved and we all enjoyed and we all grew up to. You know, I guess it's natural to save stuff a part of your childhood, but I think it's pretty cool that the community itself saved it and is working to further add features, because I guess they're going to be adding more stuff and more rooms and more items, and it's still in its early stages. They're still kind of trying to fix some minor bugs because it's a not a bootleg version of Club Penguin. It's just that they're trying to update stuff because they went back from from what it was when it shut down to what it is now. It's a step back, definitely in terms of features, I would suppose, because looking from the videos of what it became right before it shut down, I guess there was a lot of stuff to do, but it is what it is. So, but no, I was just pretty happy. It was just cool in my mind. So. And Chris, I will just ask if we could refrain from self-promoting in the chat. That'd be great. That's just kind of one thing I don't really want here on my channel. I can spotlight you if you want, but I just please refrain from self-promoting in the chat. Um, while you're here on my channel, I'd appreciate that. And like I said, we can definitely do a community spotlight here on some of my videos, which I'd like to do in the future. Um, there's also some links that I'm trying to get on all the end of my videos to recommended channels and whatnot. I can definitely put you on, but let's just refrain from self-promotion. Just let's just not do that, please, if we could. So this is the, like I said, the area of where trains will come in and stop and park before they enter the transfer point or continue on down the MNG if they so choose, or just pass through. We have trains that probably will pass through and not even bother with us. And I have a little under an hour now before I have to go. So this track, so this area is over a mile long now, which is able to accommodate a decently sized train. I mean, is that long enough to go? Because I mean, I used my mile long train and it was definitely long enough. How much longer should I make this? What I'm working on today is the line terminus down here in Patton. Well, Patton's over here. I'm not sure if you saw Patton. Patton is the northern end of the MNG. It is also the end of Amtrak's River Queen service. They have Patton Union Station down here, which is the end of the River Queen and the River Queen Express line. Very nice station. A little larger than I wanted, but I think it looks pretty good, especially for a line terminus. It's a very big, grand station. But so yeah, this is the line terminus for the MNG. 3 miles. That's long. It's just a passing track. That's all it is. Just trains come in and use it to allow other trains to pass or hold out for the transfer point. I could see a mile and a half, 2 miles, but 3, that is insane. But yeah, so we're working on the area just out on the other side of Patton, because the railroad, the M&G, this is the M&G tracks right here, the double main coming up the viaduct that cuts through town right here, and then transfers into a single main to come across the bridge. Which is still going to add pillars and whatnot, but it comes across the Cahokia one last time, comes down this, I wouldn't really call it a loop, but it kind of does loop if you come down these sections of track. The transfer yard between CSX, KCS, BNSF, and the M&G is going to be over here. So it's where we're going to have a lot of our consists sitting to either be hooked up with Class 1 operators or be taken from Class 1 operators. And then to the south here, after we pass the Y, the tracks split off to each Class 1 operator, except KCS and BNSF, they're using the same track. They're using the same main line, which is what I want them to do. So BNSF KCS comes off this way, rolls by this little community right here alongside the Cahokia, and they have an area right here for trains to wait or allow others to pass each other. Four tracks. I think it's a little much, but gives everyone plenty of room to wait for everyone else. And then same thing for CSX. CSX will have the same thing on their line, point for trains to wait and pass each other before heading out or heading into the transfer point. So that's kind of what we're working on here, just kind of getting this area finished up. And I don't even know if, the idea is good. I don't know if this loop, I don't know if the loop should still be here. I don't know if the Y is good enough. I don't know. I'm just kind of experimenting right now with things. But, as far as I know, this is what we're going to be using, and I'm pretty happy with it. Especially this track over here. Because this is my mile train. This is what I use to place mile markers and whatnot. It's pretty much almost exactly down to the T, a mile-long train. You can see here, it good bit distance between the to where it all meets again, and the end of the consist. So probably drag it out a little bit further. I don't imagine I'm gonna have too many trains longer than that coming up the line, but we might. You never know. So that is kind of what we're doing today. Alrighty, so I think this track is plenty long enough. It's well over a mile, so yeah, that's I think that's plenty long enough. We can go ahead and start merging them back together. Or actually, I'll probably come around one last curve here. It's going to curve up this way and then back the other way. So like I said, I want the tracks to go for a little bit, so people can have a little bit of room to play with BNSF and CSX and not just the M&G. So I don't want just to end abruptly and not have any room to drag these trains out and do what you want with them for a little bit. Because I do understand people would like that, and plus, you know, if I want to further expand upon the route later in life, maybe do something more with these Class 1 operators in the area, then I can do so, but at least get a few miles of trackage down, maybe a couple crossings for them to go across, and just something for you guys to enjoy further other than the MNG, because imagine people will enjoy using the line, but I don't imagine that everyone's going to want to play on just the MNG's track. So what's you guys' most favorite JR payware content that you guys are using? 'Cause I'm just trying to figure out what you guys have and what you guys like and what you guys are using. Because, like I said, I have a fair bit of JR content now, and I'm fairly happy with Join and Rail. They spit out nice, high quality content. Damn dog. Oh, that's right. Yeah, you need to get off the iPad and get on an actual desktop. That's something to work on here. Ah, that's right, Coal Country. I forgot about that. I've been wanting to get that for a while. But definitely Coal Country. I've seen videos. There's a guy that I watch, WIT Simulations. He did some streaming on Coal Country, and it looks really beautiful. I think it would really hurt my computer, but it looks really beautiful. I liked it. I think if I ever did want to buy a route, I would definitely buy Coal Country. But I'm more into making my own routes. Very busy with that. And, definitely using their third-party content for their locomotives and whatnot. Oops, I didn't connect those. How those didn't connect. Awesome, and then it'll come out to a 2-track main, and then later down a single-track main before I just terminate it into a portal. So there's that for BNSF. And now for CSX, who's not going to be running us alongside the river. CSX is going to kind of come out this way, and they might curve to the left again. But actually, do I want... I might have CSX use this track, because I kind of want them to run alongside the river. Ouch. I think BNSF KCS will use this track over here. I do want to have a crossing before their yard. Actually, I want to have another crossing right here, too. Let me do that real quick. Actually, before I do anything, I want to put the levee in. Put levee and so let me grab it, see what I can do with it real quick. Hey, Icer, how you doing? Alrighty. So definitely have the levee kind of right here up against the river. Because we don't want a major flood to come along and just take away all the town. Although, Grafton, they don't have a levee. Yeah, I think we're just not going to do it over here. I think it's too confined of a space to do so. Hey, Trainz in Toronto. That's a name I don't recognize. Welcome to the stream. So drag this road out. It's going to come down here, across the tracks. Then this road will probably come out and do the same thing over here before BNSF KCS branches off or does their little point before the yard. So probably do that. Ah, well, thank you for tuning in. Not much to see here, but always nice to see new faces. Hold on here. Let me see something. Yes, it does that. Well, flattering. Thank you for thinking these are good, but they're all right. My streams are nothing to gawk at, honestly. They're mediocre at the best. We'll put it that way. Alrighty. Alrighty, and it's gonna kind of. Don't want to. Yeah, we want it to curve this way before we head under the bridge, or as we head under the bridge. And right after we spit out on the other side of the bridge, it'll start to branch off to about a few tracks for this little area over here. Alrighty. Yeah, no, I'm not using Google Earth right now. I only really use Google Earth when I'm building a real area.
I'm sure Sean will be using Google Earth later when he gets the MNG, because he is working on Mobile, Alabama. I'm not. I'm not going to torture myself with that, because I'm already doing that with the Carabasset. This is the Monroe, Neely, and Gulf is south. It's kind of the deep south here in America. This is central Mississippi I'm modeling right now. The operators of the line is my fictional line. That's going to be operating over here, the Monroe, Neely, and Gulf, the MNG. It's a fictional operator that I'm creating, as well as we will have CSX rolling down this line, as well as some brief appearances from BNSF and KCS. I do have some CN rolling stock, I think. I'm doing another line called the Carabasset Valley Railroad, which is based in Maine, and it will go to Lac-Mégantic, Quebec. So I do have some more Canadian content on there, as well as modeling Canada itself, as I grew up in Maine. I lived in Maine for a long time. So I'm modeling that on my other railroad. I don't really have any CN motive power. I bought this SD40. I can't remember from who. I think it was JR, but it doesn't work at all. I have this SD40 right here, as well as some other basic CN stuff. I think I have a yeah, I got the CN and CP boxcars. But you will more than likely see the rolling stock from time to time come down the line. It's not uncommon. Yeah, no, that definitely right there for using Google Earth for creating the LPR. Definitely helps out. But with me, this is all freestyle, because this whole area is based in a real place, a real state, but the area itself is fictional. I was actually going to not tie this line to any particular location in the world, just loosely base it off of a place or a few places and just make it completely fictional and have you guys decide when you were operating where it wanted to be. But I think Sean very heavily stressed that he wanted to have a location thought out for it. It gets to be better for our backstory purposes, but I don't have very much CP stuff at all. Yeah, I got this this CP hopper. I don't think I have any Canadian Pacific engines at all, which is kind of sad, honestly. I don't think I have any. Let me see, actually. I should have some... Yeah, no, I have no CP engines. Oh, take that back. I got this GP30, I think, from Dave Snow. And this GE-9, which I'm not using because it doesn't look all too great anymore compared to what I'm using now from JR. But yeah, that's all the CP stuff I have. I wasn't ever really big on CP, but yeah. The problem I'm always having right now with this route is definitely trying to find the right assets. And I mean, these bridge assets and levee assets that I'm using over here, and even some of these old industrial buildings are from an FMA package, which I believe is more a French-themed package. But I guess it fits the area because they look relatively generic. Yeah, I think I may have seen the CP content from the Recting Hall, but like I said, it's just never been something I've widely used in my lines or routes at all. So, uh, not to be mean to CP, I definitely like them in a sense, but I've never really had a good use for them, so I don't ever really download their engines. Um, or much of their content for that matter, but oh crap, I didn't want to do that. Didn't want to do that. And that's the other thing I'm using. I tend to favor more modern locomotives, so definitely older steam engines and older diesel engines aren't mainly my thing, but I do appreciate them. Alrighty, so branch off. I have 2 tracks over here for CSX to use, or 4 tracks to use, just like BNSF. Or no, this is BNSF. I'm sorry. This ain't CSX over here. No, we're not doing that. There we go. That's the thing. It's like, when you're modeling, because that was the thing I was finding hard with when I was doing one of my earlier routes that I wasn't streaming it, but I was working on it. The Hyde subdivision. I wanted to model my hometown and create kind of this fictional area. If the mill industry had never left my hometown, and I was finding it very hard to model my main street area. I mean, even that in that sense, and from a even with the Carabasset, looking at a lot of these street images from Eustis, Maine, and even Lac-Mégantic, Quebec, what's left, honestly, after the rail disaster, um, it's very hard to model it to an accuracy if you can't create the assets. If you can create the assets um, to use, you probably have no problem. But if you're just someone like me who's just a route builder, and I have no content creation background, then you're ultimately screwed in a very nice sense. Yeah, I'll look at that link when I head out here in the next little bit. Cause like I said, I do gotta get some chores done today. I gotta head out to Sprint here and talk to them about getting on my own phone plan. Cause my mom's not. Yeah, I wouldn't say kicking off is a kind of a harsh word. She's not really, in a sense, kicking me off. It's just I think it's about time that maybe I get out on my own plan. I mean, I'm paying my mom for to put towards the phone bill for myself, but if that's the case, then I may as well just get out on my own plan, and I get a good discount supposedly through my work, which I gotta go find out how much the discount is before I do anything. Cause that's ultimately what I want to do today is go look at the discount and see how much it is and how much it'd be and what I can do. Cause yeah, it is a forked. So yeah, this will be BNSF's track over here with KCS. And it always amazes me how quickly the time passes when I'm live streaming, because I've already been doing this for over an hour. And it's just amazing. I feel like I've accomplished nothing. All I've done is place down a few tracks. Like I always look at, like I was looking at Patton last night, the town I created, and I was thinking to myself, wow, I've been working on this for a few days. I must have a lot of work done. And I was looking at it, I'm like, really? That's it? That's all the work I've gotten done. All the hours I've spent placing items and moving them around, and I feel like I had built like a whole city, and I barely have created anything. And I just thought it was so funny. It's like you could spend your whole week working on this and probably not get much more than maybe a few miles of track work done. And it seems so ridiculous. It's like, what in the world? Why is it take so long to do anything? I just thought it was pretty funny in my mind. I'm like, never gonna get this done. It is what it is, I suppose. Why are you all weird? Oh, that's probably why. Actually, I think 4 tracks for each operator is more than enough. It's only the MNG. Now, it's not going to be insane traffic coming through here. Oh, this will be I think a 10 limit through here. As it's kind of a tighter area. I think I have a speed limit sign up here on the bridge, or I should have anyways. No, I think I had one, but that's right. I redone the track work so many times that I probably deleted it at some point or at some point during the process. Oh, I don't know what I did there, but all right. Wanted to create another grid square. I don't think Toronto saw the town I created. Just in case, for some of you guys maybe just coming in, this is the town I created over here with the Amtrak terminus station. This is Patton. This is what we're working on. It's the northernmost terminus to the MNG. Has an Amtrak support yard for the River Queen line that I have running. It's almost strictly a F40 service, but we do have some P42s and other such motive power stuck here. But just in case you haven't seen it or would like to see it again, this is what I've been working on for the past week. All this. But now I'm just trying to get the base work for the trackage kind of done up so I can justify just working on the town. And the BNSF track isn't really bothered by much, so we're going to just kind of throw him out straight for a little ways. Let's see what that does. Aren't you already talked to Approach about it? I wonder why the track does that. That's kind of weird. Ah, all right. Well, as long as he's on board, I'm on board then. I was gonna say I couldn't speak for him when you asked, but
if he's all on board with it, then I'm most certainly on board with it. And the track doesn't have to be perfectly straight. It can be a little wonky. Gotta sneeze. Any more? Awesome. So sick of allergies, man. Just want them to be gone. Hey RMD, how you doing? I'm doing all right. I'm actually next 15 minutes gonna be getting ready to go here. So you just caught the tail end of what we're doing today. And just to get it out there now, because I know someone's gonna ask, I am not streaming tomorrow. Not streaming tomorrow. I got a lot to do and not a lot of time to do it. So tomorrow is a no-go for another stream. Gonna say, I remember when I first met Sean in a digital sense, but yeah, nice to finally get him on with the streams and whatnot, and introduce him to you guys and whatnot, and of course now the rest is history. So great part of my YouTube community and very helpful with all my projects. And actually, I just messaged him and see how he's doing. I haven't talked to him in a while here. Been very busy lately. Very busy. What the heck? Always forget to hold shift. Now that'll work out perfect. I'll be just heading off about then. Actually, I'd love to catch your live stream, but like I said, I have stuff I gotta do because adulting is fun. Said no one ever. Drag it out further. I remember I used to play football. I don't play, watch, or do much with football anymore, especially with the NFL. I didn't play for the NFL, but I don't watch the NFL anymore. Football's too. Yeah, it's bleh. Yeah, I mean, Packers came back, but with the sports are just becoming too political. It's just there's no escape from it anymore. I'm just tired. And that's the whole reason for sports is to kind of get away from the political side of things, and it's just become more political than I want to watch. So it's just like whatever. I'm done. If that's how it's gonna be, then whatever. I'm just not gonna even bother watching or spending my time or hard-earned money on. So hockey it is. There's a lot of things better than football right now. Watching the grass grow is a lot better than football right now. And that's kind of sad because it's fall time, so the grass is dying and not growing. I mean, trust me, there's things this country does that I don't necessarily agree with, but I'm damn proud to be an American. I'm very fortunate. I'm very lucky to be here. You know, I should be very, very thankful to be blessed enough to be here. And, you know, my dad, he served in the military and whatnot, and there are many people before him and after him that have served. So, least we could do is respect those people and honor their sacrifices. You know, the flag represents everything they've done, in my mind, anyways. So there's no need to kneel for it or disrespect it. And you know, there's two sides going back and forth about what people are kneeling for. It's just like I really don't care what you think. You don't sit down for the flag. You don't kneel for the flag. You don't do that stuff. You don't sit there on my TV on Sunday and try to push your agenda while you're in our country. Just my personal opinion. This is the great United States and whatnot. And I also find it funny that, you know, this is such a big issue that they're even talking about it in NASCAR. I mean, come on, NASCAR. I mean, the media is all about it in NASCAR, and it's just like
NASCAR is probably the most all-American sport we have. You know, when you think about America and the people that love America, it's generally the people that watch NASCAR, for the most part. So given that fact, and the fact that NASCAR is a great all-American sport, you know, and you're going to talk to them about not standing for the flag, I think you're talking to the wrong crowd of people. That is the last place I'd want to disrespect the flag at all, is a NASCAR race. I feel like I get mobbed or lynched or beaten to death for not respecting the flag. That is the last place I'd ever want to do that at. My birthday? My birthday is November 16th. It's rolling. It's around the corner here. I'll be 21 this year. What am I doing? I remember being 15. But no, NASCAR. No one's kneeled. No one kneeled in NASCAR. No one did not stand for the. Everyone stands for the flag in NASCAR. I'm just saying, it's just the fact that they're talking about what's going on in the NFL and NASCAR, and and what owners of NASCAR teams would do if no one stood for, if someone on their team did not stand for the flag. And I mean, the answer is what you'd expect from such a sport, but no one in NASCAR did that. What's going on in the NFL? Just heck, I mean, you even look at hockey and all these guys from other countries that aren't even American, and they stand for the flag. That's not even their country. Guys like Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby and Jonathan Taves and all these other guys. They're not even from the United States. But whatever. Alrighty, we got 7 minutes to go. So we'll drag these tracks back down into a double main. Actually, I could go for some low main right now. Oh yeah, I mean everyone has opinions and whatnot, and the guys at the NFL, I guess they're just expressing their First Amendment right or whatever. But at the same time, I completely disagree with it, and I think it's the wrong place at the wrong time to do anything like that. When I'm at work, I can't express my first. I gotta sneeze again. Here we go. But I think in the setting of which they're doing it in is completely wrong. When I go to work, I can't sit there and express my political views and my views about anything because I'm at work and my job does not want me doing that. When I go to work, I am expected to be professional, and I'm expected to keep my opinions to myself about anything and how I feel about things to myself. I mean, I can talk about it with my coworkers, but when it comes to people that are flying with us, I can't sit up there and talk to them about, my political views. I'm neutral. So the fact that these guys are at their work on the payroll, earning the money from Americans, and they're in the United States playing this sport, it's completely wrong. That is the wrong setting. Like they shouldn't be allowed to do that at work. That is their job. they are the lucky few that they get paid so much and take it for granted more than likely, and they sit there and try to you know express their opinions and beliefs, and it's like, no, you can't do that. You can't sit there at your work and express your views and beliefs. That's completely wrong. I can't go to my job and do that, and I can't ever do that. Even on Facebook, I got to be careful what I say because people are watching. My work's watching too. You know, and it comes to about some very controversial stuff, but that's a whole other topic. Uh, if this right here, yeah, it's fine. You can express your opinions outside of work, but when there's a fine area, and it would take forever to explain what I mean by that. But anyways, point being, I don't think these guys should be allowed to do what they're doing at their work. Come on. It's just wrong. They're taking advantage of the setting. But anyways, guys, enough about that. I'm tired of it. I'm over it. I'm done. But this is the track work that we got here. This is I got about 25 some odd miles of track done up now from what do we name this town? Ah, crap, I forgot what we named this town. What did we name this town? Crap. And I wrote it down too. Oh. I forgot when I named the town. And my phone froze. That's wonderful. Way to go, phone. My phone's been acting weird lately. Driving me crazy. But yeah, so like I said, this is the way into the transfer yard, and the transfer yard's going to be here and whatnot, and then they go up the bridge, do what they got to do, and these are just the respective lines coming into the transfer point. But anyways, guys, I do got to end it here because, like I said, I gotta get out and get some stuff done, and just do a little work for this week. Talk with you guys, see how you guys are doing. Like I said, I'm not streaming tomorrow. I got a lot of stuff to do. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I'll leave you guys with a view of Patton here. So, or leave with a view of Patton. Like I said, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream today. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you in the next stream. Who should I want to say something to? Oh, Trainz in Toronto. Good luck with your stream, sir. And yeah, thanks for everyone for watching today. Chris, RMD, Icer. It's unreal. Oh,
I'm just peachy, or should I say, apple-ish.
I didn't ask Siri if she was okay, but okay. Thanks, Siri, for... Yeah. Alrighty then. Trainz player. It's unreal. Feel like I'm forgetting someone. But anyways, guys, thanks for watching. I will see you all in the next one. I'll talk to you guys later. See ya.